There's everyone. Everyone here. I heard Alex's. Zan, are you here?
Yep.
Let's see. B, are you here?
Yes.
All right. And finally, Matt, are you here?
No, sir. I have ascended into a different dimension.
Yes, a being of pure
No,
energy.
I know, right? Early, too, for a monk, but also I love the headband.
Thank you. You probably aren't going to love it in a little bit. I'm wearing because we're going to get a little sweaty here, everyone. That's fine. But that's why I'm here. I've got the wristbands here too, and I'm ready to go a couple rounds here. Ha ha ha.
All right.
Yes. So I'll put my hat on over. Actually, no hat. We're doing this for America. Oh no. Oh my word. Oh.
This
Oh.
is somehow better than
Oh.
what the video looks like.
Justice has happened here. Oh. Oh, there we are. No. Wigs and sweatbands do not mix, unfortunately. So, alas, I am but a mere wizard again.
You gotta put the sweatband on your hat.
This is it's so gentle. I worry about that though. You can't see it, but this thing is hanging on by a thread right now. I did not spend a lot of gold coin on it, unfortunately. Not even a lot of copper. So, let's take a look here and see where we're at. So, Theobel, you are listening to this door. You heard a little ruckus there. What would you like to do too? Additionally, before we go further, I have played a sorcerer before, but I am not familiar with a monk. So, Viren, if you need to educate me on monk abilities, I would be happy to take a lesson from you. I will do my best to stay up to date with them, though.
I am also relatively new to playing a monk, so pretty much right now I've got 2 key points that I can spend in various ways. Other than that, I just buffed my move speed a little bit.
Excellent. So just to recap on there, you have a flurry of blows, which will let you do an extra attack after your normal attack. Those are unarmed strikes, yes.
I believe 2 unarmed strikes.
Yes, 2 unarmed strikes. I see that here. And then you can use a key point to take a dodge action. If I recall correctly, dodge will just, let's see here, that will just keep you away from any attack on there, so not taking any damage on there. It's entirely avoiding attacks until start next turn. Any attack roll made against you will have disadvantage. Let's see here. And then finally, you have Step of the Wind, which will allow you to disengage or dash as a bonus action on your turn, or jump a distance that is doubled. Your jump distance is doubled for the turn as well, too.
That sounds awesome.
Yes.
It is pretty neat. But I can only do those things like twice a day.
Yes.
So
For now.
Your hops are expendable.
Yes.
Exactly.
Finite hops.
I pull something when I do it.
And Theo, just to let you know the decision I finally made, you will, any spell, first level spell you roll, you will roll a d20 after that. If you get lower than a 10, Wild Magic Surge.
Oh, that's a lot of wild magic. I love it.
It is.
This
It's
makes me
fitting
happy.
for your character. Let's see here.
Oh, I'm so hyped that you put on those bands now because we're going to be surging all day, boys and girls.
That's right.
I'm just going to make sure I don't stand that close to you when you're casting.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna TPK. It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be kind of remorseful, but not really. I just hope that at some point I give like Mrs. Feathers the beard of feathers somehow.
That would be awesome.
That would be very fun.
Indeed. Let me see. Font of Magic. I forgot if that does anything just now or if that's just something for later.
At level 2, it doesn't really do anything. It just gives me basically an extra spell slot. At level 3, I can do other things with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, as you lean against this door, you definitely hear something in there. It sounds like some rustling, something very large. possibly, Theobald, why don't you give me a nature check, please? You're a wise woman of the swamp. You've had your encounters with creature. Perhaps you might know what's in there.
I am wise, however, unfortunately, in 5e, nature is intelligence based.
Sure.
So we will.
We'll take a survival
Yeah.
too if you want to do that too instead.
I would prefer a survival
Let's
and
do a
not just
survival,
because of
yes.
what I've rolled. There we go.
Something in there sounds like it's about the size of maybe a donkey or a small horse. It's very large, though. Larger than a small goblinoid creature.
Right. So there's something in here, and I reckon it's bigger than a goblin, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. But like maybe, I don't know, mule size.
Theodore starts walking towards the door and goes, "Ooh, adventurers! It must have been a dwarf."
What?
Mrs. Feather rolls her eyes.
Mrs. Feathers, give me a 1d20 to see how hard you roll your eyes, please. Thank you, Zan. You roll your eyes so hard that everybody around you gets a little dizzy. Yeah.
Theodore's like knocked off balance by how hard she rolls her eyes.
Yes.
Take like 1 psychic damage.
Okay, so ruckus in this room over here.
Is there
Maybe
a fourth door that we've listened at?
I don't think we've listened at it yet, but
This
maybe
one
we
here?
should.
Theodore will go put his ear up to it, and he's like, your door will be a success. Is it, what are we doing, perception?
Yes, perception to hear the door. On this other door, you hear nothing.
Theodore's like, it is quiet. This is a safe door. And Theodore just opens the door.
Okay.
Of course.
The north and south walls of this chamber are stacked halfway to the ceiling with ill-made barrels, boxes, and crates. A clear path allows easy access between the west and east doors. You can't help but notice that there are a few small barrels, and Theo, you do speak Goblin, yes?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't. Okay, there's something written in Goblin on there.
So there's nothing like that jumps out and tries to kill us immediately?
No, nothing.
So Theodore like turns around, having heard the sarcasm in Theobald's voice, and saw Mrs. Feather's eye roll. He turns around and goes, "See? It's a storage room." And he just kind of steps into it.
Right. I don't know why you're acting like you had something to prove to me, because that's just like, yeah, you found a storage room. All right.
Oh, sorry. I had to move you in there.
Said it was safe, and you doubted me.
How loud are you talking, Theo?
I would say it's like slightly louder than a normal speaking voice, like not yelling, but like in a slightly more aggressive speaking voice.
Give me a stealth check advantage, please.
All right, I can do that. Let me find stealth on this list.
Yes, nothing happens to you. It's just nice empty storage room. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Nothing wrong.
Theodore is going to just kind of like look through the supplies here and see if there's anything like interesting that may be worth snagging.
You see, let's see here, water, wine, some very, very poor quality food. Some appears to be spoiled, although it seems like it's been recently eaten.
Theodore will grab the wine. He's not above wine.
Okay, you take a bottle of wine, add it to your inventory. Let's call it goblin wine.
I feel like that's probably not good.
Yes. Additionally, there are 5 pints of oil, along with some smaller barrels, again, that are written in that goblin language.
I can translate whatever is written on the barrels.
You poke your head in. The barrel says elf pudding on it.
I wonder if that's pudding
What did
for
it say?
elves or made
elf
of
pudding.
elves.
I have a sneaking suspicion it's made of elves.
Like to open a barrel and taste it.
Okay.
Duh.
I love my perception of Marin at this point is that Marin does not speak words. Marin just grunts and like makes sounds and then just does things, and it makes me really happy when I think about it.
Can I get was it Marin? Was that you dipping into the elf pudding?
Yeah.
Give me a Constitution saving throw, Marin.
It can only go well.
You taste it. It tastes awful, but luckily enough, you're able to hold back your vomit and not to make a very loud noise after tasting it. Tasting it again would surely cause you to have some sort of reflex, not a pleasant one.
Theo looks at him as like, it gives him kind of like a tilted head look of like, is it good? You know, like what?
Marin grimaces and shakes his head, coughing slightly.
Immediately regretting that decision.
It tastes like
See, maybe
it tastes like what you would imagine the floor of a locker room would taste like.
Perfect.
maybe this is why we shouldn't just be eating strange things we find in a dungeon.
So as Theobald was saying that, Theodore in the excitement of finding a safe room walks up to the next door and listens at the door again on this next one.
Can I have a perception check? Thank you. You hear a lot of talking in Goblin.
Theodore turns around and is like trying to be very silent, doesn't say anything. He just like moves his mouth a bunch and kind of like is pointing randomly at the door and stuff.
Can we roll some type of check to see if we can figure out what the hell he's trying to tell us?
Give me an insight check, please.
Okay.
There's goblins in here, he says to Viren. There's goblins in here.
Theodore obviously is like seeing the recognition on their faces, very proud of himself that he was able to convey that, and he's smiling and like still pointing at the door with his thumb, kind of bouncing around a little bit,
making like goblin pantomime.
Yeah, like kind of like his like arms are a little limp, but his hands are hanging down and his shoulders are up high with like kind of limp arms, like jumping around, making like kind of weird faces and stuff.
I give you a thumbs up.
Theo, take an inspiration point for using the skilled use of pantomime in your language repertoire.
If this is doubling up on inspiration for me, what does that do?
It does absolutely nothing for you.
I'm so inspired right now.
Points, yes.
I'm so inspired right now.
Anyone else?
Well, sounds like we got a threat from both these doors.
Yeah.
So which one do we want to go through first?
So from Theodore's background is of like traveling and telling stories and trying to see like inns and taverns and things like that. Can you tell like is this door like the type of sounds you would normally hear in a tavern or a place of like rest and sort of like at a long day, you know, you're turning in and you're kind of relaxing?
They do not sound relaxed at all.
Theodore kind of points away from the door and just starts walking back towards the room that they all came from.
All right.
I will add on there too. It sounds you can almost make the sound of this, and there's just a lot of uproarious talking and stuff as that's going on.
As Theodore is walking past Virian and like closer to the group, he kind of says under his breath, he's like, I think they might be sharpening swords. I don't really know what's going on in there, but there's goblins and there's like things. And as he makes the like sh noise, he like runs one arm across his other arm and you see like sparks fly by kind of thing.
That's a cool effect.
Mhm.
Wait, let me do the spell to do the effect. Wait. Ah.
Wait, I have something for this too. Hang on. No, it's not here. I thought I had it.
Oh, that's cool.
Perfect. I love it.
Are you trying to get out of this room? You guys are locked in this room. Haha! My
sorry,
trap is
sorry.
completed.
Theodore instantly turns into a mime and makes an invisible wall at the door.
Yeah, I figure if we shut this guy back, probably be able to see what's in there without activating whatever's in there. They were making a lot of noise, right?
Yes.
They probably won't really hear us unless we do something really loud.
I mean, maybe we could also try to, like, sort of subtly open the door, see what's in there, and then assess the situation.
Did someone convey what the noises were on this door? Or was it just someone did
This
the like
top door
insight?
right here, is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
Sounds like
Um,
a donkey-sized animal.
Yeah, Theobald did say it sounds like there's a mule behind
That's
here.
right, yeah.
Maybe it's just a donkey. It could be our friend.
Theodore kind of
What?
points at Virian, is like, this man has a point. It could just be a donkey. Donkeys do not like the dark of caves.
True.
I mean, I'm sure that's true, but, like, again, maybe we sort of check and then figure it out after that?
What are you thinking, like were donkey?
I don't know. Listen, there are a lot of critters out there that you see and they look like one thing, and then you look at them again and you realize that, like, your nose is bleeding a little bit and your eyes have sort of turned pitch black, and you just never know is what I'm getting at.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I do have a very overactive imagination. I just want to point that out to all of you.
You see, like, for some reason, and there's no like real, like, no one would want this to happen, but Theodore's kind of like drumming his fingers a little bit. He's like, "Ooh, I hope it is a donkey lich. That would be wonderful to add to my stories."
All right. I feel like the little gnome here is the stealthiest. Do you want to maybe try to open this door, see if you can see what's inside, and then we go from there?
Marin lets out a little grunt and he scoots by the door and to slowly open it.
Give me a stealth check, please, Marin. Oh, damn it! You weren't supposed to see that. You poke your head
Yeah.
inside, but you're going to see it anyway. So, here are we. Mounted and stuffed animal heads adorn the walls. The mounting job is sloppy, and the assortment of heads includes cattle, rats, and other not particularly impressive specimens. A few grisly trophies share the wall with the animals, including a couple of kobold heads. Smashed and broken cabinets and small tables litter the periphery of the room, mute victims of some sort of rampage. A rusted iron spike stands in the center of the room, trailing a broken train. Thin patches of frost coat sections of the walls, floor, and debris as you see a not very large, but about a mule-sized white dragon wormling sitting upon a pile of random objects from the room. I have some delightful little art here for you all to take a look. Let's see here. Go ahead and show that to you all. If it's
Oh
going to
my
let me.
god, baby's first horde.
Where's Meepo when you need him?
Let's share with everyone. No, why is that not sharing? Come on, share. Sharing is caring. Come on, Roll20, you can do it. No, it's doing that thing again that I don't like.
Is it just feeling shy?
I think it is. Very frustrating. Oh, I just have to edit it. Show it to all players. There we are. Take a look, everyone.
Aw.
Oh, he's so cute.
You have found Calcarix, the white dragon wormling, and he has not
Aw.
spotted you.
Well, we know for a fact this is Calcarix.
I mean, do you know many other white dragon wormlings down here?
And Theodore's met a few in his travels, maybe. I don't know. Like, maybe, wait, hold on.
As Marin, as you did, let's take a look here.
Theodore's met one other white dragon wormling.
As far as you know, that one white dragon wormling is very far away from here. Marin, as you did poke your head in there, you did notice that there was another door over to the side. What are we doing now?
Marin cautiously looks back at the group and gives them a shrug.
Is there any more, like, detail to the shrug that he gives other than just a shrug?
That's up to Marin.
Marin's going to slip into the room quietly and kind of stay against the wall, hoping that the wormling doesn't notice.
That stealth check will definitely earn you that, although you can only go so far into the room. The wormling is quite full of himself and very proud of his little hoard.
Can I roll a perception check to, like, peek in the door as he sneaks in?
Absolutely. Theobald, take 100 psychic damage as you are blown away at how stealthy Marin is. No, that's about all you see. You just see the same thing. The dragon, again, is not paying attention to Marin at all, but you have eyes on him.
I'm gonna very slowly and cautiously back out and turn to the rest of the group and just go, "Well, folks, we found the dragon."
You're supposed to bring this back to Nico, right?
I
Yes.
think so.
They are requesting their dragon back.
Does anyone have a leash?
So Theodore kind of looks at Theobald and Mrs. Feathers like, you two are druids. You understand, you know dragons, correct? Do you know how resilient are dragons in like a sense of if I were to try and judge how many hit points a dragon of Calcarix's caliber would have, if they might know what that would be. Does that make sense?
I mean, dragons are sort of like, they're not really the same as like animals, is the thing. They're like pretty intelligent and like, you know, have that ability to actually reason, and they're capable of speech in most cases too. So I don't really know a ton about them.
Mrs. Feathers agree with everything. That was just.
I don't suppose anybody speaks Draconic, do they?
I almost took Draconic. I was so close to it.
You know,
and then I figured
I always think about it, but I never end up needing it.
Every campaign I play, I'm like, Draconic would make the most sense because I always run into kobolds, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it because Draconic's so too easy, you know?
It's unfortunate that we don't have anyone here from the exotic land of Tejas, because I know people from there, specifically rangers from there, who are well established in stabbing people.
Oh no.
They definitely knew Draconic.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Who knows? Well, what am I even talking about here? Who are you? Where am I? Oh, have you seen my orb? Ooh, ah, yes.
It's a lovely orb.
I know, it's magical. Oh!
See, now I can see the orb because I'm actually looking at the stream.
I know, enjoy, yes, the magic, the mystery. Ignore this dragon porn behind me. There's nothing to see here, just the orb, yes.
I mean, I wasn't looking at it until
Yeah,
you
take a look.
pointed it out.
It's a dragon gangbang. It's like all the heads of Tiamat separated, ready to just go to town. Don't look at it. No, this is a family show. Just look away. We're about this dragon right here, right now. It's already covered in white. We don't need to put any more on there, all right? That was gross. I'm sorry. Yeah, anyway, yes.
So question of point of clarification: is the dragon? Did you say it's like shackled to something?
No, it's definitely not shackled.
Okay.
Here, I made it a little bit bigger to make it more looming.
Okay.
Okay, so Theodore, following on his question, he's like, so I've only encountered a handful of dragons, kind of like bluffing in that. And he's like, the ones I've spoken to speak common tongue. Is that normal? Continuing to ask the druids this question.
Theodore, give me a deception check.
Oh, let's see here.
Hang on a second, Theodore. As you say this,
this is like too in character right now.
You're standing next to Virion. You blow on Virion's neck. Not like you don't put your lips on him. You just go.
Like leaning over, trying to really pass this off. Like, I've met many dragons.
Does anyone want to?
Are you okay?
Everyone can tell he's lying. He's a liar.
Yeah, everyone protect your navels.
Theobald, like, kind of mutters something under her breath in Druidic, and the closest translation is like, that boy's about as helpful as a pair of tits on a rattlesnake.
Inspiration point to Theobald if she hasn't already used her mama birding inspiration yet.
So, with no one responding to Theodore is just going to without like announcing anything, he's just going to kick in the door and walk into the room and just start talking and monologuing to Calcarix.
I would like everyone
immediately
to please,
hits the corner.
Everyone, please roll initiative.
You're not even gonna let me like roll a persuasion here or anything.
The tome's instructions are very clear. Roll initiative, please.
That's fair. Okay, I'll take that.
I think I'm still stuck in the hallway.
You are. Everybody get in here.
Okay, so my roll was a natural 20, but I didn't click my token.
Let me clarify something. Only Marin is there. Theobald is outside. Mrs. Feathers, Virion, you are out there with Theobald.
Very well.
So,
you still want initiative rolls?
Yes, please.
Better than usual.
Did my actual roll come through for you?
Let me take a look here. I'm still working on Calcarix's roll. Let's see. I have Theobald, I have Marin, I have Virion. Let's see here. I have Mrs. Feathers. I see your initiative roll. You just it wasn't on your token, but I can go ahead and put that on there.
It was a natural 20. Otherwise, I'd re-roll it again.
22. Yes. And then, of course, our good friend Calcarix. Let's go ahead and click on him. He got to 12. All right. Okay. Theodore, you have barred this room and you have the floor. What are you doing? This dragon looks at you and he looks pissed off.
So Theodore, seeing Calcarix, he like kicks in the door, walks into the room, like in a very charismatic stature, and throws his hands in the air, and lights shimmer around him. For there is example, lights shimmer around him of all colors, and he goes, "Calcarix, we've been sent here on a quest to meet and honor you, and bring you greetings from your greatest admirer and friend, and he throws a hand in the air, and the lights kind of like do this weird sort of like shape of Meepo in an off way, like, greet you from the greatest of creatures, the Meepo from back yonder. And he like points behind him and like gestures his arms around, and all of this is very like over exaggerated and all these things. And he's like, the Meepo and his brethren wish for you to return to them and join them in a great feast. They've had a wonderful harvest of rats.
Okay. We're going to
all these things.
bring it down because it's about 6 seconds of dialogue right there you can get in.
That's fair.
So he got the gist of about Meepo and you showing a little vision of Meepo. And would you like to move it all, or is that it for your turn?
Can I ready an action while this is happening?
Already casted an evocation or a cantrip, so I'm going to go ahead and say no.
That's fair.
All
okay, right. Then no. He just walks in the if that's the case, then no.
Okay. Mrs. Feathers, Theodore is doing some dumb shit. What are you going to do?
Can I do something like a offering of a nicety to see if he'll just come with us? Can I like give him something, or
are you walking into the room?
Yes.
So let's go ahead and let's get some distance on here. Let's see, you were down there. So yeah, you can actually go. How far up are you going to him?
Maybe like right across that table.
Okay, so you're going to the right, say right about here. Is that good for you?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you trying to offer him?
Can I see if he wants my shiny possum? What was it?
Shiny pheasant gizzard.
The pheasant carcass.
Yes.
Pheasant carcass.
Or is there something I should be offering as like a, hey, you want to come with us? I got this cool thing you can have.
Got a snack.
That's up to you.
Pickled toes.
Those are mine.
So whatever you plan on giving, are you just going to place it on the table? Are you going to hand it to him? What are you trying to do?
I think I'd place it on the table, kind of like an offering.
Okay. And you want
Seems
it to
like
be that gizzard?
A wise choice.
I'm gonna hand feed it. No. So how do I know what I have to give him? I guess is my question.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at your character sheet. So your inventory is on there. When you go to your character sheet, let's see here.
Oh, by like item name?
Yes, go to character sheet and then go down to inventory. Let's see here. Yes, it's going to be the bottom middle where it says equipment inventory. So just going off the list of things you have a disguise kit, a wooden shield, a mace, leather armor. I'm going to go ahead and add that gizzard on there for you. Glowing pheasant gizzard. There we are. You have some rations, you have some rope, you have a torch, a tinderbox, a mess kit, a bedroll, backpack. The explorer's pack pretty much contains all of that stuff in there. It's just added on there. An iron pot, a shovel, your basic adventuring gear, and the shirt on your back, basically.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll just try offering the glowing pheasant and see if he wants it.
Okay, you place a glowing pheasant gizzard down there. Let me just make sure I have some pheasant gizzard here. Let's see. They don't just give you pheasant gizzards in the library here. No, I have no pheasant gizzards here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for you is I'm just going to go ahead and draw a glowing pheasant gizzard for you. Stand back, everyone, and marvel at my artistic ability. Behold, the glowing pheasant gizzard.
Astonishing.
Exactly.
Wow.
It brings me to tears.
It's doing its magic. Magic, yes. Behold, yes. All right. And that would be Mrs. Feather's turn right there. Theobel.
Theobel's waiting outside, trying to see what's gonna happen.
Same thing with Virion.
Okay.
It's kind of looking.
All right, so no other actions for them. Marin, you are being a little.
I'm sorry. Can I preach you some good berries?
Absolutely, yes. Probably going to need
Excellent.
it. Yes. Marin, you are being a little sneaky boy, and then these two just barreled into the room, waving their pheasant gizzards and fancy lights. What are you going to do?
I think Marin's gonna stay hidden in the corner as best as he can, kind of blending in with the wall and the little trappings of the room.
This is the moment where like Theodore immediately dies.
So, on that note, we're going to go ahead and let's get some measurements here. Let's see here. Oh, that's quite long. Yeah, that'll. You might. Let's see here. Well, first things first. The dragon is going to move up and it's going to climb on top of the table. It immediately squashes the gizzard. Doesn't seem to give a crap about it at all.
Great.
Oh
then,
no!
He is going to firmly start blasting this cold, icy breath. And I need Mrs. Feathers, and I need Theo. Please make a Constitution saving throw.
Damn.
Theo don't care none.
Right.
Good.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Theo,
Oh no!
take 8 cold damage. Mrs. Feathers, your ass is on the ground.
Great. For me, I tried to be nice to this beehole.
So,
Oh
Mrs.
no!
Feathers, go ahead, and I will wait for your turn to make a death saving throw. But that is the dragon's turn right there. Theodore, you got a blast of wintry freshness in your face. It was unpleasant.
So after Theodore chews his first taste of 5 gum, he tries his best to like shake it off and like make it look like he didn't even care. Like his hair blew back in the wind, and he's like, I don't even care. No one even noticed. He's like, I'm just gonna be sneaky about this and like trying to play it off. Like I look good. I'm cool with this. And then he's gonna immediately turn around and like yell back at Calcurus, and he's like, this could have been easy. And then he's gonna cast sleep.
Okay. It has no effect.
Oh, that's a sad day.
This is going great for us.
And Marin, give me an insight check. You know what? It seems like Theo knows what he's doing. He seems to be very much on top of his game.
So after casting sleep and like he like throws his hand out to like throw sleep at him. Is that how I mark a spell slot? So
oh yes, roll a 1d20, please. Yes. Nothing happens.
So after seeing nothing happen, he goes, never mind, and turns around and immediately walks out of the room and tucks around the corner in front of Irian.
Thanks, friend.
He's like, you guys have fun in there, and he sits back in the corner.
Just me and Mary. Well, not really me, I'm dead, but...
Mrs.
Not
Feathers,
dead, just knocked out.
roll a 1d,
not dead,
roll a
just
death saving throw, please. Let's roll a 1d20.
Okay.
So just to educate you,
Roll over
if
10.
you didn't learn last time, what happens is you need to roll 3
Nice.
rolls above a 10 to stabilize yourself. If you roll 3 rolls under a 10, you take the first train to create a new character's will. So that's one positive on there. You'll see on your character sheet there is little bubbles that are on there. Go ahead and put one in. Let's see here. Where is it? The successes. So I'll go ahead and I'll mark that first one for you. So good job. You have not knocked on death's door quite yet.
So I need to roll.
You're just kind of on death's doorstep, just sort of like.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So my next 2 turns.
Or it could go a lot worse for you. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Theobald, how's that good berry in your
Hold up.
mouth?
Following question: with
Yes.
casting sleep, do I need to? Oh, that was the roll d20 for the wild magic surge.
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So Theobald,
Anyways.
the taste of good
All
berry
right.
lingers in your mouth, ready for you to
Right.
spew into a willing subject.
So I have a question about that because that is going to determine what I do.
Yes.
If I transform into something, does the good berry stay in my mouth?
I will say yes, the good berry stays in your mouth.
Cool. I am going to become a dire wolf.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get you a nice little dire wolf.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna get those to you, and then it was a busy couple weeks.
I am deeply, deeply saddened by that, but that's fine. Here's a cool.
Also, I have a feeling that like her dire wolf form doesn't actually like it looks like a dire wolf, but kind of like a sickly dire wolf.
Sure. So let's go ahead and give you control of this.
All right.
Let's see here. There you are. You should have control of a dire wolf now.
Is that how
Sorry.
big the token really is?
That's how big it is. I'm going to go ahead and
Oh my
shrink
gosh.
it down because the direwolf should definitely not be bigger than the dragon, maybe about the equal
was gonna
size on
say.
there. And Theobald, we're going to go ahead and take you off the board for a second. Now you have your direwolf. Actually, no, we're not going to leave you on the board. We're just going to move you away so we don't screw up the rolls on there. So
Mhm.
Theobald, we're just hanging out up here in the abyss. So I will
Sure.
put you back when you're done. But there you
Okay,
are.
so I'm
Oh, sorry. There you
so
are.
that's fine. I am gonna go into that room, which I can't do.
Oh, I thought I put you in there. There you are, right there.
And I'm going to spit the good berry into Mrs. Feather's mouth.
Okay. Mrs. Feathers,
And
the delightful rancid taste of goodberry seeps down your gullet, and you are now stabilized. I believe
Yay.
1 health.
love-
then
I was just gonna say I love being baby birded.
and then I am going to. Can I try to drag her out of the way?
I'm going to say that you can get around the scruff of her neck, but that's going to be too many actions right there. But you have a good
And-
grip on her, and you should be ready to pull her out the next turn.
Okay, perfect. Can I also kind of angle it so that like I'm in between her and the dragon?
Absolutely.
Because
Go ahead and we'll put this do
Yeah.
some maneuvering on there. You've got a body in between them.
and then that'll be my turn.
All right. And Virion.
All right, I'm going to preface this entire thing by saying only subdual damage is being attempted here. So I'm going to use my now slightly increased move to... Actually, I can't get in the room either. I'm stuck outside.
Yeah,
Sorry to help you, but I can't. There.
The second chapter will be so much easier because I used dungeon draft everyone.
So my move is 40 feet right now, so that's easily within range.
Yes.
I'm going to, as I think would be like a free action, shout "Bad Dragon," and give it a whack over the head. Oof, was 15 hit AC?
Let's take a look here. That does nothing.
In that case, I'm going to spend a key point and use the flurry of blows.
Let's see those delightful flurry.
Also does nothing.
No.
Nothing. Ah, something. Let's see that one unarmed strike. What do you have?
8
Ooh,
bludgeoning.
8 bludgeoning damage.
For an unarmed strike, that's pretty brutal.
That's worth, yes, let's
Yeah.
see here. That's worth a nice little, ah, yes.
Monks are good.
So, yes, you hit him for 8 bludgeoning damage.
And I did, of course, tell him that he was being bad.
He doesn't
And also
understand what
drag.
you're saying, yes.
All right, so I will mark off a key point, and I believe that is the conclusion of my turn.
Marin, you're pressed against the wall like a silent film villain. And all this is there's a friggin' wolf that just jumped in here, spit some food in Mrs. Feather's mouth, and then this giant bald guy came in and just, Papa! What are you going to do? If you're talking, we can't hear you, Marin.
Just checking my inventory.
Marin, just want to add too, just so you know how rogues work on here. You have a number of compatriots that are within melee range on here. So if you were to make a melee attack, or even I believe a ranged attack too, you would get a sneak attack damage on your target.
Mm-hmm.
I think seeing that my buddies here have run in close, Marin's going to pull out his short bow. He's going to attempt to lodge an arrow into this wonderful creature.
Majestic beast that it is, yes. That will connect. Let's see some damage. So you hit it for 5 piercing and 2 sneaky damage. Oh, that is 15 total that has been done to it. Would you like to move it all, or you want to stay put?
I think in this case, I'm going to do a disengage and dash.
Okay. You can only do one, or actually, yes, you can only do one or the other.
Okay, I'll do a little dash.
Okay. Where are you trying to dash to?
Just outside of the door, not the door next to me.
Okay. Just letting you know, you don't need to dash out there. Just give you an idea of the dashing distance on there. A dash would look, say you wanted to dash, you could go probably even about that. You could go all the way down the hall if you wanted to with a dash.
Okay. Then I guess in that case we'll saunter out over
Sounds
by
good.
around the corner, kind of on this side here, and we'll hunker down for to see, I guess.
Sounds
We're
good.
using caution. We're using caution.
Yes. So, with that, the white dragon wormling, he has been punched in the face by a man with a giant stick. He takes offense to that, and he proceeds to take a bite at him.
I figured he might either be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and
Yes.
not do it, or be like, "Fuck you, buddy."
He's definitely saying "fuck you, buddy." Unfortunately for him, you are just too agile, and his attack of 15 does not connect against your AC. Theodore, how is it doing out there? What's going on in Theo's world?
Theo is not feeling great right now,
I
but
gather.
everyone's too busy fighting to really realize that, except maybe like Marin. But Theo is gonna let down for a second, he feels like shit a little bit, and he's gonna walk up to the corner here, and then he's gonna sling a chaos bolt in at the dragon.
You should have some elf pudding. It might cheer you up.
That was not great.
Definitely does not connect. However, let's roll a 1d20 to see if there's anything that happens after that. Ah! Give me a 1d100, please.
Okay, are we using the normal wild surge roll?
We are using the wild surge rolls, yes. The normal ones. 36.
So hyped.
You're just hoping it's not fire.
Roll a 1d10, please. You, let's see here. Oh, this gets older. You age, let's see here. What was that? 1d10, 2. You age 10 years.
Holy shit.
How old is Theo already? How old is he?
I want to say I said he was in his 20s, so he's in his 30s.
You start feeling ever slight pain in your prostate. You probably need to drink some water. And you have a little bit of lower back pain, but you're getting slowly used to it.
Theodore kind of kneels down and rubs his knees as this is all happening. He's like, "Oh, just doesn't feel like it used to."
I'm kind of feeling the need to take a quick nap.
Yes.
He's like, "I don't have the energy I used to have."
Can we just break character for a second? And I just want to say, damn it, I wish we lived in a country that had siestas. Anyway.
So, yeah.
Mrs.
I totally agree.
Sorry, go ahead. Yes. Siestas for all. And Mrs. Feathers, you're just waking up from your siesta. A wolf just spits some good berries in your mouth. What do you say to this giant wolf over here giving you mouth to mouth in a way?
Hey, thank you so much. I'm very appreciative of the mouth to mouth.
Do you
Theobald kind of I was gonna say Theobald kind of tries to nod, I guess.
Good wolf nod.
So do I do anything with my turn here or no? Because
you are stabilized. You have 1 hit point. You are, however, prone. And a wolf has its mouth around your scruff of your neck. If Owlin does actually have scruff, but it appears like the wolf is getting ready to pull you out of there. But you only have 1 HP. You're feeling very sore and a little bit of frostbite.
Do I have to do anything with my turn, or can I do anything for the wolf?
I mean, it's up to you. Or would you like recommendations right now?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Absolutely. So if I were in your shoes, I would promptly do some type of healing spell on myself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or alternatively, something else you can do is you could wild shape into something else, because when you wild shape, you take on the hit points of whatever you wild shape into.
Oh. What if when I go back to my normal shape, am I back to only 1?
You are, but hopefully at that point you'll be in a better situation than you're in now.
Okay, and I can wild shape into any of the animals that were CR 1/4?
Or less, yes.
Okay. Let me look at the list. I want to wild shape into a...
Make sure it doesn't fly and it does not swim.
Doesn't fly, doesn't swim. Okay. I would like to become a giant lizard.
Giant lizard. Good choice. Let me go find a giant lizard for you. There's a nice giant lizard. We're going to go ahead and throw that on there for you. Come on, roll 20. You can do it. Theo's the one that got older, not you. Oh, here we are. All right, and we're going to go ahead and move Mrs. Feathers off so we don't lose her turn order. If it's going to let me. There we are. We're going to shrink you down to a more manageable size. And we're going to give you control of this giant lizard. So, Mrs. Feathers, you will see now in your character sheet, or at least on your little journal over there, you should see giant lizard available to you. You
Yes.
now have all the abilities of a giant lizard. I do want to point out to you that when you are in an animal shape, you cannot speak. You basically have all the languages that the animal has. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Thea Bell, that you can deactivate it at any time she wants. However, there is a time limit on how long you can be wild shaped.
Yes.
So congratulations, you are a lizard.
You're a lizard, Harry.
I'll tell you time frames and all that. Wild shape, let's see here. So you can use this ability twice per short or long. Oh, you regain expended uses after a short or long rest. Let's see here. There's a whole series of rules. I will go ahead and I will put that in the chat so you can familiarize those as we go along. But yes, you're a lizard. Huzzah!
Huzzah! So can I
Huzzah.
like just kind of crawl out of the room to get out of the way of
You
the
can,
dragon?
or you could even help too.
Help the. Oh, do I speak dragon?
You don't speak dragon. Lizards don't speak dragon, but you could help beat down the dragon if you want.
I'm sorry.
I think technically shifting is an action, if that matters.
Yes, I'm refamiliarizing myself on here. So you stay in beast shape for a number of hours, equal to half your druid level, rounded down. So you will be this for an hour if you decide. You can revert to your normal form unless you expend another use of this feature. You can revert to your normal form earlier by using a bonus action on your turn. So let's see here. Place by
So I could bite the dragon?
Could you what?
I could bite the dragon?
Oh, absolutely, if you want to. I'm just trying to make sure you didn't just use an action on here. Yes, this is an action.
Because I think for moon druids it's a bonus action, and that's why.
Yes. So you have used your action to turn into a lizard.
Moon druids are OP.
Yes. So that is the turn. Let's see here. And then Thea Bell.
I think Theobald is kind of okay with. Well, I think Theobald is kind of annoyed. I think she's going to. You know what? She will bite the dragon, but I would like to try to do some dual damage.
Okay.
And because I'm in direwolf form, I do get pack tactics.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and roll my bite attack. Okay, I will roll that again, I guess, because, like I said, I do get advantage.
Sure. That second one will definitely hit.
Okay, lovely. So that is going to be 8 piercing, and then it needs to succeed on a strength saving.
Let's see here. It does not succeed.
Wow.
It is knocked
Okay,
prone.
cool.
The dragon rears over, it's on its belly, and it's going like this, its little legs and arms, and it's very angry.
Well, I think that's my turn. Yeah, that's my turn. I only get one stick wolf.
Okay, I'm going to go put a little snail next to it so I know it's prone. Virion, you have a prone dragon in front of you, so you have advantage on your attacks.
I do, don't I? Let's see. Query advantage. Make that go away. Okay. I'm going to make a two-handed quarterstaff with advantage. Again, subdual. Shit.
Yes, that's you are
if
fucking
you
the thing up.
If you crit, with Subdual, does that make it not Subdual?
I don't
I
believe
can't remember how we've done that before. I was under the impression that if you crit, you could theoretically accidentally kill your target.
I'll go ahead and say you don't have to worry about that. Let's just say that.
Okay. So there he's got his bludgeoning.
Okay. He's looking quite beaten up. Still going though.
Oh hell, I'm gonna use that last key point then and give him a couple of unarmed.
Couple love taps, sure.
Little love taps. Spankins.
Thoroughly spanked. I don't even need to see damage. You have subdued this dragon.
Nice.
He is knocked the fuck out.
That's an excellent use of key points. Does anybody happen to have hempen rope left? Because I used mine on a goblin.
You asked the question, but you realize you're in a room with a giant lizard and a giant wolf who don't speak English, or common, excuse me.
Make 2 lizard noises if you have hempen rope. I don't know what a lizard noise is. Like,
now,
do they hiss? What do they do?
Mrs. Feathers, and for both the druids. This is a very important piece of information that I forgot to mention while you're at my table. If you are in animal form and someone asks you a question like this, it is absolutely essential that you respond with the noise of the animal. I will accept nothing less, so please, if you don't mind, a lizard noise.
Hiss. Hiss.
Perfect. I picture Theobald doing like a Cooper style mooing noise.
Theodore walks back into the room at this point, does not look great, honestly, and he's like, and he just reaches into his bag and throws out 5 feet of hempen rope.
I would be totally fine also, like, once we get this thing tied up. I would be totally fine just, like, dragging it back to where we want to take it.
Yeah, that was my my sense. We could also use my quarterstaff to make kind of like almost like a litter sort of thing where you could suspend it and carry it, because I bet it's a bit heavy. Also, do we want to bring its horde back for it so it can have that in its little cage so it's not having a completely miserable experience?
Yes. I think that's something that Theobald would be in favor of.
I'm pro letting this little guy have his horde.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's go ahead.
Thanks.
By the way, Theodore, I've added a grayish tint on there to signify your respective age. You know, we must respect our elders, so we want to make sure you're identified on there. So about how much time are we spending here to tie this thing up? We're tying it up, collecting the horde, yes?
I think we're trying to probably do it as rapidly as we can. We'll do a good job.
Yes.
Just, you know, I added a note on the additional features and traits tab for Theodore that he aged and is in his early 30s. So it's in there now.
Wonderful.
Can Marin check the horde for I think that might be of use.
Absolutely. Before we add on there too, one other thing to note for Theo. You have your right leg is itching quite a bit after you had that surge. Nothing you've noticed so far yet, but it's itching a lot more.
Theo is itching vigorously right now.
Yes.
He's just scratching the shit out of his right leg. He says right or left?
Your right leg, yes.
Right, he's scratching the shit out of his right leg. And as he's scratching his right leg, he looks at the direwolf and he's like, hey, I may have made a mistake, but do you happen to have more of those great berries? And he kind of like stumbles a little bit.
Did I chew up multiples at once, or just the one?
I think you just had the one. So you'd have to conjure some more, which you can't do in your wolf form right now.
Right.
Don't you conjure 10 at a time?
I thought it was just
Yeah,
one.
you do.
Oh, it's 10 at a time? Okay.
You conjure multiples at a time, but I assume it's kind of like Animorphs rules, where like everything you're wearing or whatever like melts into your skin.
That would make sense.
Marin, the astute thief that you are, keenly interested in a pile of valuables behind you, I'm going to tell you what's in there. The wormling has scoured the room and gathered all items of worth into a nest that she made behind the table. Uh, it is a she. So, pardon me for misgendering the dragon. The valuables include a dragon-shaped jade figurine, which is worth about 20 gold, a crystal goblet worth about 5 gold, 24 pieces of fine silverware worth about 1 gold piece each. So all in all, you're looking about 50 gold pieces worth of loot right there. Of particular note, there is a sealed scroll case carved of bone. It is carrying an inscription. It's got runes in it. Does anybody speak Dwarvish? Marin, do you speak Dwarvish?
I do, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
The Dwarvish alphabet spell out the word Kundrukar.
What?
Kundrukar. Let me write that out for you. Or let's have the
Yes,
creepy
please.
Thank you, creepy goblin. This is just a scroll case.
I thought we'd let the dragon keep its hoard, though. I mean, maybe if there's things that are useful for our adventure or information useful for finding the missing adventurers we're looking for, sure. But, like, I mean, it's just a little dragon. It should have a hoard.
Can I open the case?
You open the case. Age and water damage have destroyed most of the scroll that's inside, but there's a short message in Dwarvish that remains. It says, "The remaining few, by order of Derek Geddon the Black, we have created a secret dwarven redoubt. None shall find us, however," and then it cuts off. Let's see. And additionally, the case, the parchment, while it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to you, you could probably get about 100 gold for it if you sold it to the right buyer.
We'll pocket that, and we'll let the rest of the hoard go.
Okay. So, what are we doing here? Number one, druids. Are you staying in your form, or are you immediately coming back out?
I'm staying as a wolf for the time being, if nothing else, because, like I said, I can kind of help drag this dragon.
Good old drag, yes.
Gotta drag the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
One could say it's a drag show, but
One could.
Why? What about the giant lizard?
Would like to return to its owl form.
The giant lizard poofs back into an owl. The owl is quite bloody. Yes.
Marin offers a pickled toe, holding it out, shaking the jar.
Who are you offering the pickled toe to?
Theo and his itchy leg.
Oh.
Theo kind of sniffs the pickled toe and scratches his leg again and puts a hand up and goes, "Thank you, but I'm gonna go lay down over here." And he kind of like walks over to the corner of the room and just like slumps against the wall and waits.
Theo, give me an investigation or perception check. You continue to scratch your leg, and you just kind of look at the leg a little bit. You pull up your pant leg or whatever you're wearing, and You notice that the hair on your leg seems a bit darker.
Theo kind of stares at it for a second, like cocks his head to the side, and then is like, and then goes back to like wiping blood off of his face.
All right, so are we tying up this dragon? Are we healing ourselves? What's the next step here?
So if people have healing, they should probably use it if they need. But otherwise, I'd say we should probably bring the dragon back to the kobolds.
Yeah. Can I do any healing really quick?
You absolutely can. Let me see what you have at your disposal. Let's take a look here. Mrs. Feathers, what do you have in your kit? You have a Cure Wounds spell. That should do very nicely. Why don't you go to your character sheet in the middle portion of the character sheet where it says attacks and spellcasting. Go ahead and click on Cure Wounds.
Also, whoever's doing the tying up should probably kind of fashion a bit of a makeshift, because, if they wake up and start, breath weaponing, that would kind of suck.
Okay, let's see here. It's a base Cure Wounds on there. That takes care of it. Not sure what the higher level cast was on there. But yes, you heal yourself to full health. You're back at 9. Alright, who's doing the tying up?
Marin can run over and attempt to fashion some good rogue knots.
Okay.
As he's doing that, you just hear Theo in the corner, like, why do my knees hurt? My back.
Theo.
God damn, why are these kids on my lawn?
Yes,
This place is
concern
so
of every
dirty.
30-year-old.
Exactly.
Don't mind me, just rolling a random d20. No reason for that at all. Yes, let's go ahead. Let's see a survival check to see how good your knots are on this. That's pretty decent. You have managed to hogtie this dragon. You even have a nice little knot on there that'll allow you to drag it with ease.
And we do scoop up its hoard to bring with us.
Okay, who's going to carry that? And how are you going to scoop that up?
If someone wants to scoop it up, you can put it on my back, I assume.
Does anybody have a cloak or something you could sort of pile it into and make a makeshift hobo bindle out of it?
So just to give you a little layout of this room on here, there are many tabards. There is a bear rug on the ground there.
Ooh, the bear rug would work.
We have to wrap it up in
let's
the
just
bear
use
rug.
the bear rug.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Give me a sleight of hand, or yes, give me a sleight of hand, or just a base dexterity to see how well or how quickly you can all gather up this hoard.
I'm helping.
That's pretty good. Okay. Yep, you sit tied up nice and neat. Yep, all together. And you are attaching this to the direwolf's back, yes?
Yep.
Okay. All in all, probably spent about, I'd say about 30 minutes doing all this. So what's next, everyone?
Take them back to the main room with Meepo and Queen.
Meepo and the boys.
Ah, yes.
Hell
Meepo and the boys.
yeah, we get to see Meepo again.
The finest blue-eyed soul group that was ever known to man, yes. How about Theo? Anybody helping Theo out, or are we just going to leave him there, or what are we doing?
I mean, I'm assuming he's coming with. I can't do much right now because I'm in wolf form, but
Theo will stumble along behind the group. You know, his hair's a little, or his leg's a little hairy, and he's a little rough and worse for wear. Probably lag behind just a little bit, but he'll follow along the best he can.
All right. So let's drag a dragon.
I don't really notice anything weird about Theo, I don't think. Unless it's super obvious.
I mean, he does look a little bit older, but that's pretty normal for Theo standards. So here's what I need from everyone as we're dragging this dragon. I need a group stealth check. Let's see here who's going to have. Theobel, you will have disadvantage because you are hauling a dragon load on your back. Who is
Fair.
pulling Calcarix?
I will assist in the pulling of the Calcarix.
Okay, anybody helping him?
I'll help.
Okay, so you two give me disadvantage on that stealth check as well.
Okay.
shout out to the 2 crew.
Oh, I'm working on an 11 here.
Okay, 11, 17, 6. And we need, let's see, Mrs. Feathers, where I have you. Mrs. Feathers, you're helping drag as well? Okay, there we go, right there. All right. And Theo, give me a stealth check, please. Okay. Let's see if you are all able to pull this off.
Do I need to roll one for Marin?
Oh, yes, roll one for Marin as well, too. Sorry, I thought you were on there.
Let's bring the average up here.
Yes.
Please. No.
Okay.
American, what are you good for?
1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys pulled it off.
Damn.
Some stupid
Thankfully,
goblins here.
goblins are not wise.
Yes. All right. I mean, you guys just kind of saunter out. The other goblins that are tied up, I'm assuming you guys gagged them, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So as you walk in there, they're like,
Can I just sort of snarl at them?
can I hear a snarl?
I guess that I don't know how to snarl. I guess that would just be like,
I'll take
Grr,
that. That's fine.
motherfuckers.
I don't know if the mic picked that up or
Oh,
not.
I got some. Can I get an intimidation check, please?
Okay. Are they using my stats or the direwolf stats?
The direwolf stats for this.
Okay. So that's a -2, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't at all.
11.
They're not deterred by it at all.
Can Theo walking behind, like just covered in blood, like look at them, kind of grit his teeth and go grr, like in a very sarcastic, sort of intimidating way?
Yes, let's see an intimidation check for that. One of them just pisses their pants in fear. They're like, oh!
Works for me.
So, let's go ahead and just scoop you all up here. Where you are. No, I can't drag it. That's because you're nuts. That's the wrong thing right there. There we are. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and just drag you all down here. Nice little group we have here. All right. You pull this poor dragon through here. I bring out the hallway, and you see Meepo, and Meepo is excited. He claps his hands. Oh, Calcarix, you bring Calcarix home! Yay! And I'm assuming you just drag it over to Citadel, yes?
As this is happening,
Meepo!
Theo kind of like scratching his leg and clutching one of his arms, puts his other arm on Meepo and is like, Meepo, health potions. And then just continues to walk with the group.
Meepo pulls out a little vial of some red liquid, and he says, oh, here, you take, right here.
Theodore like kind of like ruffles Meepo's hair and is like, I knew I liked you.
Do you drink the potion?
Theodore is going to first inspect and make sure it's actually a health potion.
Give me a medicine check. That is definitely not health potion. If anything, it looks like rat's blood.
Well, it couldn't hurt.
Theo, like, he looks at it, looks back at Meepo, winks at Meepo, and then just puts it in his pocket. Like, doesn't want to hurt Meepo's feelings.
Meepo just looks at you with the stupidest look on his face, and he just smiles.
I like the idea now that you're like 30, you probably suddenly have like Werthers in your pocket that you could just like offer me.
Yeah, end result, he like gives Meepo Werthers in exchange for the blood or whatever he has.
I'm sorry, I do have to step in here and say, because you're 30, you don't actually have Werthers in your pockets.
Close enough.
You do have some aspirin.
Maybe some Skittles.
Some
Just
vitamin D
Advil.
pills. Let's all be safe here. We're in the Midwest. You know, we want to make sure we get our vitamin D's levels up. You know, that's what we're really about right here. The little lesson for today.
So Theo reaches in his pocket and pulls out like one of those men's one-a-day vitamins and puts it in Meepo's hand and is like, "This is for you. This is for you. Take one of these every day, and you will grow big and strong, good friend, and you will be on to adventures yourself." And then he limps away and scratches his leg again.
Wonderful. Let's take a look here. Let's see what you get here. So you drag the dragon over to Usadrill. Usadrill is quite excited. He's like, yes, you've returned the Great One to us. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Hopefully, the goblins did not give you any problems.
Theo waves from the background.
She just
doesn't say anything, just kind of like nods and does like a half salute.
She's like,
there is actually two goblins tied up just beyond the secret door entrance where we went through. So I don't know if you want to capture them or whatever.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, wonderful. A gift, an offering even. And she snaps her fingers. She goes, "Go, more goblins. We shall celebrate tonight." And you see a couple of kobold guards. They rush over to there, and they make sure that they seal up the entranceway when they come back through. Arm all the traps, and you see the two goblins that are tied up. They are dragged over to the room. And then actually one of them is actually dragged to the room. The other one is dragged into the room with the rest of the kobolds.
Oh.
I'm assuming someone has taken the horde from Theodel's back to put with the dragon.
Oh yes, so some guards, they come over, they take the horde off your back. And then they take control of the Calcarix pulling over there, and they pull Calcarix back to her cage.
Yeah, we brought Calcarix's toys with her, so...
As they're pulling Calcarix back, Theo kind of pats Meepo on the shoulder and is like, "Hey, buddy. So I kicked in the door and I talked about you to Calcarix, and Calcarix doesn't think highly of you. So I'd maybe think about sneaking Calcarix a rat or two extra once and again."
Oh, we feed Calcarix rats all the time. You know, she's just moody with us. She doesn't want to be in cage. I totally understand. Don't worry, Meepo, take good care of Calcarix.
Theo like ruffles Meepo's hair again. Doesn't actually have hair, but Meepo ruffles what would be, or Theo ruffles what would be Meepo's hair, and like it just kind of like is like, all right, okay, run along, you little scamp.
Meepo's leg starts kicking again. He's like, "Stop! This is abuse! Stop now!" So, Usadrill, she looks very pleased. Let me show you how pleased Usadrill looks right there, just so you, in case you forgot. Let's see here. There she is, looking extremely pleased.
Ooh, very pleased.
Yes.
It's a nice ring.
Yes, very nice ring. She goes ahead and she offers you. She pulls the key out of the jaws of the dragon, and she hands it to you.
Theo limps forward and grabs the key before anyone else has an opportunity.
Excellent, excellent. So you have the key, and she also says, I have a few other. You've done such a quick, efficient job here. I have a few other things that I think will be of order of wealth to you. Tell me, do you plan on going back and dispatching the rest of the goblins? Because there would be a great assistance to us.
Well, we do need to go back through, I think, because our primary quest is to find these missing adventurers.
Yes. And no doubt you will slay many a goblin as you do so, because those goblins, they definitely have probably taken your friends. So allow me to give you a few items here. So we're going to go ahead and list off a few items that will be of benefit to you all. Number 1, you receive what appears to be a golden feather. It's a golden feather. Let's go ahead and I'll write it out here so there's no other dispute of what it is. Let's see here. And I will explain to those of you that do not know what it is, what this does. And then she hands you 3 scrolls.
So can Theobald read?
Theobald can read, excuse you.
I was just curious. I mean, can you read if you're a dire wolf?
I don't know. I think probably.
No.
Do you have a wolf's reading ability?
Well,
I guess, can a direwolf comprehend language?
I was literally about to ask if how long this has taken, because if it took us half an hour to... Go ahead.
You definitely have popped out of your direwolf form at this point.
Okay.
But this is the loot that you all will get. Qual's feather token, if I recall correctly. Let me go ahead and... Oh, I'm on a full screen right here. There we are. Qual's feather token is also the thing that makes things not move, I believe. Let's see here.
There's a couple different feather tokens, I think, that are, like, depending upon what there it looks like.
So, the tree token will permanently but instantly summon a non-magical oak tree up to 60 feet high. You have that now. This is a single-use token.
Useful.
You also have spell scrolls. So one of them creates mage armor. Another one will cast spider climb. Another one will cast knock. For those of you that are not familiar with those, knock will basically open up a locked door. I believe it's also used on a magical locked door. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody knows that. Spider climb is what it sounds like. You can climb like a spider for a temporary time. Mage armor will increase your armor. I believe it's for unarmed people, though. So let me double check on there. A creature who isn't wearing armor puts a protective magical force field around it until the spell ends. It lasts about 8 hours. The target's base AC becomes 13 plus its dexterity modifier. This spell ends if the target dons armor if you dismiss the spell. This sounds like Virion all over right there. Or even, I believe, Theodore would benefit from that as well, too.
That would actually benefit Theodore more than me, because I believe that the monk's unarmored stuff is actually better than that.
Okay. None of these are rituals, right?
Also, question. Question: could that theoretically be cast on either of the druids in beast form?
It is possible, yes.
If they can read.
If they're correct, if they can read. However, someone else can read it. On them, right? It's a willing creature who doesn't wear armor.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also think that direwolves are capable of reading, but only Twilight fanfic.
That checks out.
Exactly.
That is canon.
I believe.
So, an elixir of health. If you drink this potion, it cures any disease afflicting you and removes the blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned conditions. So I'm going to go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Does it help with just having gotten older suddenly?
No, you're kind of on your own there, buddy.
Just like
Theo rubs his knees again.
some Mucinex. No, wait, that's for something else.
It's okay. When I hit when I started getting older, I need Mucinex more often too. So
I was just thinking like something with a lot of fiber in your diet.
Metamucil, is what I think you were thinking of, dude?
I think that's what I was thinking of.
Makes the plumbing run. Let's see here. So one thing I did want to take a look here. Let's see. So that dragon, that was quite a chunk of XP change right there. You guys hit 300. We're going to add an additional 450 on there, plus an additional 50 for completing the quest. So you are at 800 XP, very close to level 3 already.
Woo!
So what time are we at right now? I believe we still have some more time on. Yes, we have a little bit more time. What would you like to do next?
We might want to take a long rest.
Yeah, Theo looks at Yusudril and is like, where can I find a bed? I find my knees hurt me more than they used to, and I would love to lay down for a quiet nap.
I also love how age has made you more nebbish.
But he's in his early 30s, and he's like, my knees hurt too, which is like, okay, come on, man.
Help yourself to any of our rooms here. There are a few that are open. Some will be guard rooms. If you want some rats, we have tons of rats. Please help yourself in the main hall in there. Lots and lots of rats. Did I mention that we have rats?
Theodore just kind of like quits listening and walks to this first door near him right here and just like not even really thinking, kind of in a daze, just like tries to open the door.
So, in this room right here, the odor of rotting meat permeates this chamber. Most of the rusty iron hooks on the ceiling are empty, but a few hold skinned carcasses of large vermin, rats, huge fungoid stalks, and several massive insect carapaces. I hope I pronounced that right. Carapace, yes. On a small, battered bench along the south wall are pieces of nearly useless cutlery and rusting skinning knives. I'll go ahead and reveal this to you. There you are. Not the best place to take a nap.
Theo immediately retches. Like, he doesn't fully throw up, but you can, like, hear him gagging and just, like, and turns around and walks immediately out of the room and, like, the opposite direction. Like, that is not a bedroom. I cannot sleep there.
Yes. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Give me 1 second. Let's take a look here. You stumble out. And there is a kobold guard that walks by. You keel over. He catches you, and you just kind of softly, sensually touch his hand. And he looks at you very weirdly.
I stare deeply into his eyes, and I'm like, in like the most like provocative tone I can. It's basically like, "Thank you, sir." And then Theo stands up and walks away.
Somewhere in the background, you don't know what this song is, but you start hearing Peter Gabriel in your eyes. You've no idea what it means, but you just know the light, the heat, his eyes right there.
Theo stands in the room and is like, I tried one door and I did not find a bed, so someone else can pick from here. And he kind of like leans against the pillar near him and kind of just waits.
Are you doing all right there? You're looking a little, well, like you were ridden hard and put away wet, if I'm being honest.
I have a story about a tavern one time that might make sense with that, but not today. I feel old, my knees and back hurt, and I am worse for wear, and I would much like to sleep.
Right.
I mean, I grew up in a monastery. I could pretty much sleep wherever.
Nice
Yeah,
stone
I'm not.
floors. It's like right back at home.
I'm not real picky neither.
As this is happening,
mean-
Theo is like pulling his bedroll out of his bag.
Maybe not the room full of meat, but you know.
I tried to get out of the room, but I'm stuck in here.
You just love the room of meat.
You're in the meat room forever now.
Theo hangs himself by one of the hooks.
Theo
and
needs to
just
stop
sleeps upside down
moving so I
with
can
the
grab him and get him out of there. All right, so let's say you all find a nice comfy room. You rest. Yeah, I'll find a room for you. You know, you just had to look right next door to the meat room. There's just an empty room right here. It's wonderful.
Perfect. Wait, you had to go
Lovely.
through the meat room to get there, though,
You
didn't
do.
you?
You have to step over this giant piece of meat too.
I don't know.
You're not
Theo
allowed
walked
back
out
in
of the
there
room.
anymore. Yes. So let's go ahead and say everybody takes a nice long rest. You heal up. Raring to go.
Is there a long rest button on Roll20?
There isn't. Just kind of just
Yeah. So
heal
you just
back
restore
up.
your hit points and
Yeah,
spell
restore your
slots.
hit points. You're still gray, Theo. Maybe I'll make you a little lighter shade of gray because you actually had a rest. Nope, that's the lightest shade of gray I have. Twilight
You know,
here.
I still feel older and my knees hurt a little bit, but it's slightly less.
All right, I can keep going, guys. I don't know what everyone else's schedule is like, but I could go for at least another half hour. How are you feeling?
I'd be okay with that.
I'm good with whatever.
Alexei? You're cutting out.
We are good.
All right. Let us carry on. A nice rest. You all wake up to the smell of roasting rat. You're ready for your next portion of your adventure. You have a key in your hand as well as all these other loots. What do you do next?
Where the key?
You're asking where the key goes?
Yeah.
You ask Citadel where the key goes. She shrugs her shoulders and says, "You know, we've never really looked. You know, we don't really know."
Interesting. Need to work to find our reward.
Theodore, feeling slightly more spry, steps out, takes a big stretch, and looks at Yusudril and goes, "About those adventurers, do you know anything about them or where we might find their whereabouts?"
Ah, yes, they went after the goblins. They never returned.
The same way we went?
No, that's the back way. They went the front way though.
Has Meepo perchance seen them?
I mean, I don't know why. Meeple just cares for Calcarix.
We want Meepo as a guide.
Um,
And then, like, he nudges, like, as he says that, he nudges Virian.
We would be most honored to travel with Meepo, for he is indeed a bold warrior.
she looks at you quite perturbed. Meeple, a good warrior? Meeple is just
I didn't say good, I said bold.
well, he is pretty bold, but we kind of need Meepo to care for Calcarix.
This is true.
I could
Yeah,
send
I
you
know.
another guide. You know, that's not the problem.
I mean, I know we're all a fan of the little guy, but I'm also a little concerned about, leading him into danger and getting killed.
Oh, I feel like maybe he's too important to bring with us.
Exactly.
Theo looks slightly sad, but, like, kind of nods on it.
I will say
but
this,
Meepo can
that
travel with us in spirit.
you can get some essence of Meeple. I don't want to tell you about that, but that's up to you.
Does it come in jars or like little bags?
It's jelly form. But
All
anyway,
right.
anyway,
All right, let's get going.
I will say this. I will give you a guide, but I will not risk my people going against the outcast that is with you. I do not dare incur his wrath.
The who now?
The
What?
outcast.
Do we
Yes.
know an outcast?
That is why you search for these adventurers, yes? That's why they go to goblins. You want to rid the temple of the outcast, yes?
I think we just wanted to make sure that the town's seeds didn't keep getting stolen.
Theo kind of steps in and goes, "Certainly the outcasts, but please do jog my memory of the outcasts and tell me more."
Oh, the outcast.
do what?
He lives below. He grows the fruit, which he gives to the goblins. No doubt the goblins are trying to sell the seeds. Those dragon thieving goblins, they are his servants. It sounds as if the goblins are selling the seeds to the town.
Theo shrugs and looks at Usadrill and goes, "Ah, yes, that outcast. Now tell me, remind me, do we like the outcast?"
I mean, I do not cross him. I think the goblins, they act against him. We have never done anything to slight him, but goblins are vicious creatures.
But if you were to say have a nice plate of rat, would you share it with the outcast?
If he would partake, I think the outcast is beyond that now.
Well, most of us are beyond rat, but that's fine. And Theo mumbles all that and kind of turns around and all right.
I think it's safe to say anyone who has the tree does not need to eat.
Interesting. Now I'm curious if the outcast frequently will say "Hey, ya" and stuff like that.
Inspiration point.
Question: does this whole he having these special seeds, special fruit, not needing to eat anymore, does that sound like anything I would have heard about?
Kind of sounds like Goodberry, to be honest.
Give me a history or religion check, and let's do the disadvantage. This is a very rare piece of information.
That's fair.
I am a religious dude, so
Can I go ahead and use my inspiration to just roll at normal?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. That's a 21.
Jeez.
You have heard rumblings
You done found Jesus.
Of some type of fruit that it could give life, it could take life. Really depends on when it grows. The origins of it, you hear stories of something about a vampire of some kind or some kind of undead. But that's about the extent of what you've heard about it.
All right. Well, it doesn't really seem like the sort of thing mortal folk should be messing with, but...
Are we moving on with our guide, or anything else that you would all like to do?
Move on with the guide.
Which guide is that? What your question was?
Oh, I think we should move on with the guide.
I'll move on with the guide. Yes. This is your guide right here. His name is Phineas. Yes, good solid kobold name, Phineas the Bold. Bolder than Meepo, one might say.
Theo slaps his knee and is like, "I doubt it."
Is it even possible to be bolder than Meepo?
Yes. So he says to you, do you want to go to the front room? Or the front of goblin territory? Might be better off going through back area.
I was thinking going the back way might be useful.
So he goes ahead and he leads you back to where you came from. Go ahead and just drag you all back over there. I'm missing somebody. I'm missing that. Theobald.
Missing me.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and hang on, Theobald. There you are, right there with the rest of the group.
Oh, don't mind the dead goblin, by the way. He's, he was mouthy.
He says to you, "I don't mind at all. It's glad he's gone." And he goes ahead and he spits on the goblin, and he takes you back in here. He says, "That's it. I'm out of here.
That's a bit much.
You're all on your own here."
The best guide ever.
Sorry, point of clarification. Can Theobald have grabbed the bearskin rug and have been wearing it as a cloak now?
Oh, absolutely. I insist upon it.
Okay. Excellent.
Also, follow up. Did we assign who has what of the items we were randomly given?
We can distribute that right now if you'd like.
I mean, I don't really care, but just so they get distributed at some point.
Sure.
I think it makes sense for you to get the mage armor.
Okay.
Unless we want to use it on an animal.
Either way, I mean, someone would have to cast it on the animal, so.
But with the animals too, right? If you're wild shaped, if your hit points go down to 0 in wild shape, you pop back up to your max hit points and not wild shape. Isn't that how that works?
Mm-hmm.
I believe
It's
so.
not max. It's not max hit points. It's whatever,
whatever
your
you
hit
had.
points- Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, wild shape basically is a free life depending on what you wild shape into.
Pretty
Mhm.
much, yes. It's definitely an oh shit button.
All right, so I got the scroll mage armor.
Okay. Anyone want to take the spider climb or the knock?
I feel like either of those might make sense for the rogue.
That's what I was gonna say. Definitely spider climb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kind of essentially get something like spider.
Sticky hands.
I get to basically be able to run up vertical surfaces.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like the lizard just like the lizard could crawl the ceiling in the wall.
Ah, Arcandi, welcome! Welcome, yes, Phineas is sus. He just dropped them off and left. Everyone say hello to Arcandi.
Hello to our candy.
Hey, Arcandi.
I gave you the link to the stream.
Thank you. All right, so Spider Climb and Knock are going to Marin. How about this elixir of health that will replenish some blindness or poison or what have you?
I feel like statistically Theodore might need that more.
I feel like that's something one of the druids would have taken, though, like flavor text wise. Whichever druid is more healing inclined, or you.
I mean, it might make more sense for Mrs. Feathers to have it versus Theobald because with Theobald being a moon druid, she is going to spend a fair amount of time wild shaped, so it's not like she's going to be easily able to access items.
Take it. Mrs. Feathers.
Okay, so Mrs. Feathers, we'll go ahead and click on your character sheet, and if you go into your character sheet and you look towards on the, let's see, on the character sheet info on the bottom, where is that? As I'm sitting here talking about it, not actually showing it to you. So go on the character sheet, on where it says equipment, there's a little plus sign on the bottom left. Click on that, a little one will pop up, and you can go ahead. Well, number one, we're going to get rid of your glowing pheasant gizzard. You forfeit that a long time ago. I'm afraid you're never getting that back again. But you press the plus sign, and then you go ahead and you can just enter that item in there, the elixir of health. Okay, and finally, Qual's feather token. Who wants to make some tree?
I mean, I'll take it if no one else wants it, because
It seems super druidy.
Yeah, I am all about trees, and I also don't feel like it's the sort of thing we're going to be using in the middle of battle, so...
Definitely should be used in battle. Random trees are where it's at.
Conjure a tree for no reason. Haha!
Indeed. All right, so Theobald, if you want to just hang on to that. All
Sure.
right, loot has been distributed. You are now in this back area. From what you recall, you heard goblin-y sounds coming from over here. You heard absolutely nothing from coming over here, and you didn't get a chance to inspect over here.
Theodore looks at the group and goes, "Last time I kicked in the door, my knees started hurting, so someone can choose next."
Goblin noises. Everyone in agreement with that?
Yeah.
I'm definitely into the goblin noises.
Let's see what we have here. So you're just opening the door. How do you want to go about this?
We really need is Thorn Whip and Grease.
I do have Thorn Whip.
Spike Growth. Do little Merylwyn's Meat Grinder.
Unfortunately, I don't. I have 1 out of 3 of the elements of that.
Oh. Which I think Merylwyn's Meat Grinder is just Thorn Whip and, or not Thorn Whip, Spike Growth and Grease.
Yeah.
Because I believe the guards used their own inertia to like grind themselves to powder.
Oh, that's right.
So is it still all quiet on yonder door front?
It's quite loud still over here. You still hear those sounds.
It was through there that it was noisy, right?
Yes.
But in here,
over here, it's still quiet.
With the elf pudding.
The elf pudding is still there, ready for to be tasted again if anyone's interested.
No one tastes the elf pudding. We're not doing that again.
Marin, you wanna try the elf pudding?
All right. So which room are we going into, everyone?
Well, I suppose we could make a systematic sweep and start over on that side.
Yeah,
Not a bad idea.
Okay. Someone want to open this door right here?
Psst. Hey, sneaky boy. How'd you like to sneak that door open? Shit, I'm talking like Kenneth.
Marin will use some stealth check to slide the door open and.
All right. Let's see a stealth check then, please.
Shimmy.
Shimmy, shimmy, shake.
You open the door. It creaks a little bit, but luckily as you open it, there is absolutely nothing behind here. It just seems like a hallway that connects to the other door over here.
What?
You see a nice little hallway that goes back over here.
Well, that's a bit anticlimactic.
I mean, it did open up an entirely new hallway.
And a new door. 2 new doors.
2 new doors, yes.
True.
Did our guide bring us to a place we've already been to and then just leave us?
He sure did.
Yes.
Didn't you see what our candy says? It was sus. Thank you. This is no magic ball, Arcandy. I just want to point out to you, this is the orb of mystery. Behold, everyone that gazes into it, they totally ignore the scene of dragon porn behind you. So yes, enjoy. Yes,
I love that your dragon porn scene flutters in the air.
It does. It's majestic.
Yeah, I do appreciate the lamp shading.
Thank you.
It contributes to the realism.
It's being held up by a chip clip right now. Yes. All right.
You did miss me telling a dragon wormling that it was a bad dragon.
It was a bad dragon, though. It really was.
In the spirit of dragon porn.
Yes. Let's not go too far off the rails. I mean, it's almost midnight. We can once it's the witching hour, then absolutely yes.
Very well.
So, all right. You now have 2 extra doors, 3 doors if you really want to get serious about it. But that'll take you back from whence you came. What is next?
What's going on over here, like on this far wall?
So what you have here, this is actually the Citadel has been sunken, and all you see back there is just rock. So it's like they're like little windows built into the wall, and they're just looking at stone behind them. Nothing of real interest there.
Okay. Cool.
So before the Citadel sunk, those would have just been windows to the world.
That's right.
Very well.
Candy, I'm gonna direct this at you just so you can really dive into the madness, and I'll continue talking to everyone else. That's right. Just lose yourself in this. So yes. So just some empty windows right there. That goes. You see stone back there, crumbling walls around you.
Got 2 doors to choose from. Which one do y'all want?
Listen to both of them?
Yeah, you want to take one, I'll take the other?
Yeah.
Alright.
Buy
The
Dogecoin.
tether. You hear a goblin encouraging you to purchase crypto and NFTs.
So you want to listen to one of these doors?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to try this first door over here. Give me stealth checks, everyone that's going down that hallway. I'm assuming everyone's just piling in here.
Is it like down the whole hallway or like past like this curve, like right where my token is right now?
Basically, anyone that goes down this area over here, I need just give me one stealth check.
Theo's staying back this time. He's learned his lesson on kicking in random doors recently.
Oh no.
Mrs. Feathers.
His feathers.
Mrs. Feathers, I don't know what this means, but I want you to blow lips. So that's what you're going to do. You don't have to do this to anyone. I would never subject you to that unless you're Theo. Theo has to do that to everyone, but you just blow lips, okay? So maybe a little or something like that.
I feel like she coughed up a pellet at the inappropriate moment.
So, for the most part, you all make it through. That's some still pretty decent checks right there. Theobald, I see you right by that door. Would you like to listen in?
Yes.
Okay, give me a good perception check, please.
That's not a good perception check.
It's a door. You hear like the whistling of the wind behind you. Nothing too ominous there. Anyone else?
Check the other door?
So absolutely. Perception checks to check that, or investigation, whichever you would like. This is not your night, Mrs. Feathers.
Oh, okay.
Mrs.
I've had a
Feathers.
way worse run of rolling that one.
There's been so many nat ones tonight, though.
Who's the nearest one next to you? Are you next to Theo right now, Mrs. Feathers?
She was next to Virion by the door.
Next to Virion.
Yeah, I was by the door.
Okay. So, Mrs. Feathers, you are overwhelmed with the urge to touch Virion's navel.
I spend a key point to protect my. No, I don't. Never mind.
I'll give you a
I
free
look
key point
awkward.
for that.
Dexterity
I
saving
look
throw.
awkwardly on as my navel is temporarily touched for some reason. Yep, I fail to block my navel.
No, actually, that was pretty decent. Consider
An 11? Oh, I suppose I'm pretty dexterous.
Theo laughs in the corner because Mrs. Feathers was talking shit about the fact Theo was touching people's navels earlier.
Well, you all need to learn boundaries. It's kind of disheartening here. But anyway.
Especially around navels.
That's right.
I'm 10 out of 10 going to learn Mage Hand just to like stealthily touch people's navels.
Virion, you hear
I'm gonna listen to this door here.
Are you listening to this door right here? You hear a great commotion in there. And you don't speak Goblin, do you?
Actually, I do.
You hear just random goblins talking to each other, be like, "Oh yeah, this tastes delicious. I love this stuff." And they're also carrying on and they're saying, "Oh, how you doing, Mav? Hey, Larry, how's it going, buddy? It's been such a long time since I seen you. How you doing?"
God, is it elf pudding?
Hey, this elf pudding is delicious. You have some more, huh?
Oh God.
The goblins from Brooklyn.
Hey.
I love it.
Goblin Brooklyn, what's up?
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
I'm goblin in here.
I played a lot of Warcraft, if you can tell. So.
Yes. I asked Ms. Feathers if she can hear that as well. I assume she can because I don't realize that she critically failed her perception check. But...
She's too busy shocked that you dodged the way of her navel poke. We wanted to get real Italian fantasy races and we talk about the Gabagool, but we haven't gotten to that point yet.
That's the feast in the basement.
That's right.
So the glob of goo would be like
the glob
elf
of pudding.
Side note here, in Out of the Abyss, there actually is, no spoilers here, I apologize, there is a character named Gabagool.
That is amazing. Well,
so definitely a proverbial fuck ton of goblins behind this door.
Theo walks up and goes, "There's one of the door that way," and points behind him, like back towards the place we found the dragon.
There is another door over here, yes. And down there. What say you, team?
Theobald, do you hear anything at that door?
No, I don't.
Do you maybe want to look behind it?
You hear Theodore in a theatrical voice, "What's behind door number 1?" And he like waves an arm in the air. There's some,
It's
like,
a
sparkles and
donkey.
shit.
It's always a donkey. I've seen that show.
Theobald, do you dare?
I guess. I'm gonna do it stealthy, though, or at least I'm gonna try.
Give me a stealth or sleight of hand, whichever's better for you.
Stealth is better. That's a 13.
Let's go ahead and see how you manage this. Make sure that you guys cannot see what's behind there. Let's see. All right. 13. Uno. Dos. Tres. Cuatro. Oh. You lucky duck, you. You peer into the doorway, and what you see, apparently, it is a hobgoblin war council. They are in heavy debate. Too much debate to actually discuss with you. There is a small goblin dressed in some kind of ritualistic robes sitting there talking to one of them that appears to be like the head hobgoblin sitting in this chair. And you can't help but notice there is a large well with many vines coming out of it and spreading out everywhere. They seem to be used for climbing down into it.
Well, can I sort of like gently close the door behind me?
Absolutely.
And then I'm gonna kind of like back up a little bit into this hallway and just kind of like tell the party what I saw in a whispered voice.
It's the Goblin Debate
Like regular
Pro team.
or stage whisper?
Regular whisper.
Okay.
Goblin Debate Bros discussing the benefits of crypto. Which crypto is best for them?
I don't speak Goblin, so I'm not aware of what they were talking about, and I feel better for it.
Theo turns around on his heels and is like, "Maybe we try the third door," and like just starts walking down the hallway.
All right.
And Theo is going to go to the door in the like chamber we found Calcrix and listen at that door.
There you are, Theo. Everyone behind you just kind of Scooby-Dooing behind Theo.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Do.
Very astute listening.
Do.
You hear nothing.
Theo turns around and like just gives a thumbs up and goes, "It's quiet."
Well, you're gonna do the thing where you kick it?
Please don't.
I learned my lesson once, but I'll probably do it again soon. And then he like puts a hand on the knob and turns around and looks at everyone.
All right.
And if nobody says anything, he just opens the door.
I really wish I
don't
could
say
play
anything.
Scooby-Doo music and not worry about getting copyright strikes.
That's got to be close to public domain by now.
You'd think so, but probably refreshing it. I wouldn't bother right now. But okay, so you're opening the door. You're twisting the doorknob.
Yep.
I'm hiding behind the table.
Okay.
I'm standing back a ways.
You open the door, and suddenly it is revealed to you Another hallway with more doors.
Theodore turns around and throws his hands in the air and goes, "I'm 2 for 3! 2 for 3, ladies and gentlemen." And he walks into the hallway.
I'm pretty sure I know where this door goes.
Yeah, I think we know that one.
I want to perception check the top door, even though bad track record tonight.
Give me a perception check, yes.
Just remember that a critical fail is always more fun than just a regular success.
Truth.
So as Mrs. Feathers walks over to check it, let's take a look here. I need a dexterity check, please. Dexterity saving throw. She fails to notice that there is a trap on the floor, and she falls into a 10-foot pit. She is now prone.
What is the damage? Like, how much damage do you take by falling? Is it?
10 feet is not too much damage right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But would you say that she fell into the pit?
Yes, she fell into the pit, so much so that we are actually going to stop right here. And when we start up next month, we will be starting an initiative, everyone.
Ooh, exciting.
So.
That's like 2 sessions in a row that fell into the pit became a thing.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. So, our candy, we play once a month. When is our next session? Let's take a look at the calendar real quick. We'll figure that out. I think I mentioned on there middle of August. August 19th. How does that look for everyone?
I think that's good. I might need to let you know there's a possibility that's going to be when my mom is visiting. I don't think it is, but I want to double check before I say, oh, yeah.
So let's take a look here.
Irish Fest is that night, but I don't believe I'm going, so I should be good there.
I can also be flexible, do the 26th if that's better for everyone.
26 would actually be worse for me.
Okay.
I could do it, but I would prefer the 19th.
Okay. So let's say 19th tentative to see if Mama's visiting. We'll go ahead and make a note of that.
Could be the return of Stabby.
That's possibly. Let's see.
I actually sent her a picture of this while we were playing tonight, and I was like, we really could have used someone that spoke Draconic tonight.
All right. So, thank you everyone for watching. We really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, get me to that affiliate status, and look into the orb, and always buy as much crypto as you can stomach. You know, definitely not going anywhere. Crypto, don't need to worry about that. Thank you, Arcandy. Yes, everyone have a good night. And those of you that are part of the Milwaukee Chord, don't forget we are doing Jackbox on Sunday night, 8 p.m. Please join us for some jackboxing. Thank you again, everyone. Have a good night.
Yay.
Take care.
Later.
Thanks for